The main reason I use the collaboration space is to encourage active learning on behalf of the students. So what I would have done previously is just made notes in a new page of the content library, which have been projected on the board, and students would have taken notes down. So really I was doing all the work and they're very passive. In the collaboration space, they are the ones making the notes. So this is an example of something I did with them over lockdown. They'd watch the documentary Blackfish in class, and then I put up this table for them to fill out the information on the documentary, blank tables in order to answer these different questions. What I found was a lot of the same students were giving the answers, and when I asked why other students hadn't contributed, they said that when they got to the document the answers were already there, so they really had nothing else to add. So I found that having a whole class contributing to one or collaborating on one document was quite limiting. So this year I've decided to make groups. So we're studying trash, and I have 4 groups, and each group has the exact same templates. They're making notes on plot development, on the setting, and on the 3 main characters, Raphael, Gardo, Rat. And I started off each of these with a couple of examples of an adjective they might give and a piece of evidence. And then they, after we read a portion each day in class, they are adding to that themselves as well. They started to add in pictures into some groups. You can see that in the third years in Romeo and Juliet. They've started to add in pictures online, which helps with making a digital plot and map, makes it much easier for all learners, I suppose, to understand, because there's quite a lot of writing there. You can see their initials at the side where they're contributing, and if they're doing that in class, you can see it as they're writing it, which is really useful to see, to know if people are understanding or what they're contributing. Another group came up with the idea of just adding emojis as they were typing, because our students use their phones. It was really easy for them to do that, but it's a really useful tool, again, for visual learners. They can see really clearly from the emojis what the point being made is. To make these groups in the collaboration space, instead of adding a section, I right click here on the add section button and just add a new section group, then add a section in there, and here is where I would have made the group, and in here I would have added pages for my character, plot, setting, and then I would have copied them across. So I just right click again, move or copy, and back into the same notebook, collaboration space, Romeo and Juliet, and I would have put them all in there and renamed them. So again, right click on each group and rename them group 1, 2, 3, 4. To give permission, I go into the manage notebooks button here, and it gives permission in the collaboration space for who can access each group. So if you click on collaboration space permissions, it will have a list of the whole class of students, and you can simply just tick which students are in which group, and they have permission to edit that group. You have a function at the bottom where you can give read-only access to all groups, so they can see what other groups are doing. I found I had to do this after a while because there was such absenteeism because of COVID and quarantine, isolation and stuff, that sometimes there could be very few members in one group who were struggling, and so the point was that they wouldn't have to do all the work themselves. They can just copy and paste from another group over.